Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and it was just a week ago that I totally leaked all the cards, Paladin cards coming out in the next year, and I kind of got blacklisted again. It was rather unfortunate, but thanks to the sleuths at Reddit, we have totally legitimate leaks coming up from the next mini set on what the next Shaman cards are, and it's totally not fake. These cards are totally real and not fake. This is totally fake and a joke. Please do not lose your shit in the comments. Anyways, let's take a look at these totally real leaked Shaman cards that were leaked onto Reddit most recently, and you're going to be in for a surprise. They are actually very, very strong. So first, we're going to start straight off the gate. We're not going to tease you with some like comments or anything like that. We're going straight into some legendary stuff. We got card draw for Shaman with Swamp Master Overbane, a 5-mana 3/5 legendary, no tag. We don't want to waste a tag on a legendary. That'd be insane. As Battlecry, draw a Murloc, an Elemental, and a Totem. 3 card draw. You draw 3. Very similar to Ringmaster Watley, but it has the added benefit of having that Shaman flavor of overloading for 2 and kind of just drawing a bunch of crap. So that's great. That's really going to help Shaman, but at least it's card draw. At least it's something, and I think this card is going to see a ton of play in Shaman and elevate it potentially from tier 5 to like tier 4.5. Should be pretty good. Next, I don't know how this slipped in there. This was actually a meme about a bad priest card, but I actually talked to an insider I have at Blizzard. This version of Auspicious Spears is actually a Shaman card. You'll notice that it corrupts into Silas Darkmoon instead. They didn't want to give Shaman like this high roll of like a good 7-drop, say like a Baron Geddon. No, you get Silas every time, and it makes you feel good that you know exactly what you're gonna get, and you know, it doesn't overload, so that's pretty nice for Shaman as well. So this shouldn't be in here, but I thought I would just, sneak it in as an extra little bonus to you all. Next, we lost Bloodlust in Shaman, and Shaman doesn't have this great finisher. So it turns out there's a really good finisher in the works for the mini set. And here it is. It's called Murburup. It's 5-mana spell. You summon 2 2/2 Murlocs, and you give your Murlocs +2/+1, so doesn't just buff the board like the Druid Arbor Up, so it's not like that at all. And again, Overload 2, again keeping the theme of Overload, which is just phenomenal. And I love the fact that this card really synergizes with Shaman's direction of forcing Murlocs and only buffs on Murlocs, whereas every other class just buffs everything on the board with an Arbor Up, the Hand of a Doll. But no, Shaman gets to jump through these really weird hoops that just create these unnecessary synergies that just lead to more enjoyable gameplay experiences where you feel like you've really accomplished something when you get your 30% win rate with a phenomenal card like this. So I think this should really elevate Shaman decks to the next level, and really also in Wild has insane synergies with Tunnel Trog. Basically every card in this set's gonna have insane synergies with Tunnel Trog with the awesome Overload mechanic. Next, I'm gonna say this one's pretty lazy. I gotta admit, this is pretty lazy, but yeah, they're remaking Hammer of the Naru for Shaman, but they want to give it that Shaman flavor, and yet again we're overloading it by 2. Everything else is the same, but again, you don't want to give it that boring like good flavor that a Paladin card would have. No, you want to give it Overload, and that just makes it pretty sweet. So again, I think it'll see some play and should be pretty solid. Next we have North Watch Commander. Again, a kind of a spin on the Paladin stuff. It's really lazy, but I guess they're seeing how good Paladin is doing, and they just want to give Shaman some love. So they're giving Northwatch Commander that Shaman flavor. So immediately we're bumping it up by a mana, no Overload, which is just kind of lame. Won't help your Tunnel Trog in Wild. Again, you just want to run Trog in every deck because that card's so broken. But you'll note that if you played an Elemental last turn, you draw a minion. It keeps that flavor again with the Elementals of having to play one in the prior turn. It works really well with like the 3-mana 2/5 Wind Fury Rush, and you draw a minion. That's pretty awesome. It could be another Elemental, but this isn't an Elemental itself, so it won't really help transfer that power. But again, we want to make Shaman players work for their synergies, unlike Paladin, which is just brute forced. And lastly, in the Paladin inspired cards, we have Sword of the Fallen, but buffed. This is actually just straight up buffed for Shaman. It's 3 mana, but it keeps 3 durability. They don't want to go to the 2 durability. That would be ridiculous, but you'll note that it has this really cool upside of destroying any frozen minion damaged by this. Why does this seem familiar? I don't know. This card seems insane. Works really well with all the free synergies in Shaman right now of And yeah, it should just be really good. I think this is going to be a meta breaker coming up for Shaman next in Standard. Just unbelievable. Maybe be okay in Wild where you have cards like Marabi and some other free Shaman cards. I can't put my finger on what else is there, but I'm sure it'll be insane there as well. Next, Blizzard noted that first day of school was way too good in Paladin, even at 3, so they've decided to fix the problem. They've heard the problems of people upset about first day of school being buffed or whatever, so they're going to make it a dual class card for Paladin and Shaman, and again adding that sweet overload tag to first day of school. And well, it's spelt wrong over Lorab. That might be a brand new mechanic or Reddit, specific spelling, but looks pretty sweet to me. And it's nice that now Paladin gets to enjoy the synergies that Shaman has, and I'm sure this card will see absolutely no play going forward. But to compensate for this, because we can't take something away from Paladin and not give them something back, as we've seen in the latest balance patch, we are going to see a brand new weapon introduced to Paladin. Very, very different from Doomhammer. You might, first before I show it, you might be like, oh, it's exactly like Doomhammer, a staple in Shaman, and how dare you give this to Paladin? Just before you hop into the comments and start complaining about it, just give me a second to show it. Here we have Holy Hammer. See, it's totally different. It's got a different name, and it's a 5-mana 2/8 weapon, which is pretty good, and your hero can attack twice. But you're gonna be like, Zeddy, it's like literally the same as Doomhammer. This is so lazy. You really need to get at the devs after this one. But no, it doesn't have overload, and it's a Paladin card, so it's just really, really good. But the thing is, again, you have to remember, it's in Paladin. This might not be good enough for Paladin. You already have like Hammer of the Naru, which doesn't overload, and all these insane cards. Do you really want to invest 5 mana in 16 damage over 4 turns? Nah, this is probably just straight up giga trash in Paladin. Like, imagine giving this as like the only good card in your class and having like, say, overload. That'd be ridiculous. You'd be like, your class would be like stuck like in a bottom tier position forever if it just had to rely on going face with Doomhammer or something. So, or sorry, Holy Hammer. I caught myself there for a second. So yeah, Holy Hammer, it's like an average Paladin card, but I don't know, it'll see a little bit of play. But if it was in Shaman, oh my god, that would be insane. And then in the next mini set, there's also going to be this sweet new flavor. They're going to introduce the ogres into Shaman. Something very unique to Shaman, and really puts in that toolkit of giving Shaman a bunch of archetypes that don't come together, don't really have good synergies, but you have a couple of cards to work with, which makes it very Shaman. And I think Hearthstone will be saved due to this. And first, we have Overfist Ogre, 2 mana 6/7 legendary. Overload 3. This has got to do it, right? You coin a 2 mana 6/7. It's got amazing stats for the cost. It's blue. It looks sweet, and it's definitely unique and interesting design. And I think Shaman's got a shot. You just slam this and you hope, it might get deathed and then you're sad. But overall, this seems like a very unique and flavorful card. But oh, wait, I'm hearing something. Yeah. Sorry, I just got informed that this is too good for Shaman, so they're actually going to move this over to Paladin and take the overload tag off, and also make it Murloc as well. Just, give it that flavor of just being absolutely batshit crazy in Paladin. So, yeah, unfortunately, Overfist Ogre will be in Paladin. But regardless, it was cool while it lasted, right? However, the next Ogre will certainly not be moving to Paladin. It's staying in Shaman, and it's the Ogre Loader, a 10 mana 7/7 minion, legendary minion. If you have overloaded mana crystals, you add 3 random 1-cost minions to your hand. This effect is absolutely ridiculous. Not only do you get a premium statted minion in Shaman land of a 10 mana 7/7, but you also get incredible value, never before seen in Shaman, of 3 1-cost minions. And I can't even fathom what a class could do with 3 1-cost minions on turn 10. I mean, we've seen cards similar to this, like Ravencaller. This card was really good, and I can't think of another card that added 3 1 random cost minions to your hand. Not even one we talked about earlier that changed to a dual class card. This is just insane. Will be a staple in Shaman for years to come, and probably will elevate a Shaman to a class that you could potentially maybe hit bronze 5 with. That'll be ridiculously good. I'm very excited. And there's a pretty interesting little set of 4 cards here, Murloc cards. They were kind of fashioned in the sense of like Paladin cards, but they've scrapped all of these. These have all been scrapped because they're too good. We have Mega Murgle, 3 mana 2/2 weapon. Whenever your hero attacks, summon a Murloc from your deck. That'd be broken. That'd be just way too good. And that's been allocated to Paladin in a future set. We have Hand of Sir Finley. This was originally what Hand of a Doll was going to be. It was going to be a Murloc card. You give a Murloc +2/+2 and draw card. Instead, they took the whole Murloc part of it because that seemed boring, and again, made Hand of a Doll, and I think we're a lot happier for that. We have Contradiction. You give a random Murloc +3 attack updates when you have 5 mana. Again, this was given to Paladin as Conviction because this was deemed too good for Murlocs, and again, Paladin was in a rough spot. They occasionally lost a game and needed the help. And then lastly, we have First Day at Beach. Add 3 random Murlocs to your hand. This again inspired First Day of School, which totally is not reminiscent of that Ogre we just talked about, and again was reworked into Paladin. So Shaman could have had these cards, but if you know, they're all worse than the Paladin equivalents except Mega Murgle, and they were all turned into Paladin cards. And again, I think we're really happy about that because Shaman's in a good spot. And lastly, Shaman has been just needing forever for a card that can silence itself and draw a card, and they're getting it. Purify will be remade as a Shaman card, and this will really put Shaman over the top into the absolute stratosphere of a trash tier class. So there you have it. There are the totally legitimate links. Again, this is a totally fake video. I'm sure we'll have a lot of people disliking it. We're just having fun memeing up on how bad Shaman is, and believe me, in like a few months we're gonna be begging for Shaman nerfs. I'm telling you that right now. The amount of complaining we're doing about Shaman, it's gonna be out of control in no time through brute power creep and just ridiculous stuff like a Boulder Fist Ogre that's blue. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.